those polarizing topics like
Hello,
religion,
friends.
politics, anything like that.
Happy
Try to
Tuesday.
steer from that if you're, especially if, it's one thing if that's
My
part of
tripod
your
is
personality. I get that. I'm not trying to tell you who to be or not be.
sitting on my desk. I hope it doesn't fall back. Okay, we should be fine.
Your followers and your
so,
reach,
moved
your
up
circle,
just
your
a touch today. Let me turn this down real quick. I'm watching the tail end of the, well, I watched the whole thing, but it's not the tail end of the Home Office Training Tuesday, which was all about compelling and attraction marketing and social selling, which hopefully you guys know by now. That's totally my ball of wax, right? Like that is my game. That is what I love. And so it was very good to know that I'm just kind of in tune with all of that. So, and I still jotted down notes. I still took a lot of notes because I thought, well, I actually haven't talked about that in a while in doing my training. So I thought I'd jot down some notes so that way when I redo a training on it or do a newer training on it, that I'll have notes. Mr. Hero is down here at my feet just snoring away, so he's such a good coworker. We are, what? You didn't want to lay here? Whatever. I'm gonna move positions. Okay, so we are talking today about being an excellent leader. Yes, being an excellent leader, which is a very high topic for myself. You're a winner in my book. Oh, you're always a winner in my book. You're always number one in my book, Vicky. Being a leader is honestly, I want to say, the most joy that I get out of the entire Scentsy business. Yes, getting a paycheck is nice. Yes, the products are flipping amazing, right? Obviously, I'm a fan. For me, honestly, it is truly leadership. So this is truly something that brings me joy. Obviously, way before I was ever a director or ever thought I could be a director, I was still in the mode and in the mindset of trying to be a leader and sharing my knowledge with others. And so obviously I continue that. I will always continue that. That is probably my purpose, to be here with all of you when it comes down to it. But it's honestly something that I truly, truly enjoy. I get so much out of working with people and helping people and watching people's journeys and celebrating those successes, and it's just the most fulfilling thing ever. So it's truly near and dear and close to my heart, this topic. So there we go. So let's do housekeeping very quickly. All right. Hello. Yeah, so it's a different time today. I do apologize for switching it up. However, I do have a doctor's appointment at 2:30, and it's with my OB who takes care of my endometriosis, which is something that has been very prevalent for me. I'm not going to go into too much of it, but yeah, I have had a really bad last 2 weeks. So I've had flares every single day, today included, and so I've been living with that. Last night was super bad, and so yeah, so here I go back to the doctor today, thankfully. So, but I wanted to make sure, because I didn't know. I figured, I was pretty emotional last night because I was in so much pain. And I was like, man, if I go to the doctor and I get all emotional, it's the last thing I want to do is come and try and pep y'all up being all emotional. So you don't want an emotional Jacqui trying to give you a pep talk. Let me just tell you, it's not the prettiest thing ever. I am an ugly crier. I ugly cry. So there you go. I have like these 3 flies in my room. So if you see something whiz by, like I just did, these 3 flies. Okay. So anyway, so that's why we moved it up this week, but it is very important that we do this every single week, and I am consistent in it because, hello, leadership is important to Jacqui, and so I want to make sure that I get this in. So that is very, very good. So that's why we're coming on a little early. So, all right, let's dig into it. So being an excellent leader, what does being an excellent leader look like? What does that look like? And do you consider yourself a leader? Okay. And like Carrie was saying, she will, well, I'm going to rephrase it too. She will promote to lead this month, right? Because I believe she can. She's on the track to do so. But even if you are not at lead title yet, even if you are an essential consultant, if you're a certified consultant, if you're at lead, if you're at star, superstar, wherever you are in that title, I want you to get into the mindset of you are a leader, even if you don't have a team member yet, okay? And you might say, Jacqui, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. But let me just tell you, you have to start because, again, it's that mindset shift that we do, okay? It's all about the mindset, guys, when it comes to everything. And in life too, okay? So I won't go on about that whole thing. But when it comes to this specifically, it is a true mindset shift, and we have to put ourselves into the mindset of being a leader, because if you see this as a business and you are working to grow this as a business, if you are, really in this to do it, then you need to be looking at yourself and calling yourself and acting as if you are a leader. And again, you might be like, well, why? Because I don't have anybody yet. Well, let me just tell you, because the moment that you do get somebody, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to do a happy dance probably. And the second thing you're going to do is, crap, what do I do now? I just had somebody join. What am I supposed to do? Right? I can't even tell you how many times I've gotten that message or that text or that email, right? I had somebody finally join, but I don't know what to do. So that's why I want you guys, if that is truly the mindset that you're on of building this business, then you need to start right away, and you need to just get that in place. And part of that is systems, and we're going to talk about systems here in just a few. But already starting out with that leadership mindset of I am a leader and I'm going to act like a leader, then that way when you do become a leader, when you do get that first team member and then your second and your third and so on and so forth, then you are going to be way more prepared, and you're going to feel more in control, and you're going to feel just more self-confident in being a leader. And that truly takes a good portion of the guesswork out of it for you. So as a leader, you are the front of your team. People talk about this a lot when it comes to leadership, and maybe I've just heard the topic more recently when it comes to talking about leadership. But it's talking about leading from the front. So if you hear that, lead from the front, or if you hear me say that, because I'm going to be talking about it much more, leading from the front is truly putting yourself and your business first, okay? Because regardless if you have 0 team members, you have 1 team member, if you have 128 team members, then here's the deal, guys. You have to, and I remember seeing a post somewhere earlier today on Facebook as I was doing scrolls, that we are not a pyramid scheme. Why? Because, hello, we have to work our own business in order to get paid and in order to really have a business, right? We can't just sit back and do 0 sales, but have like 15 team members and be able to sit back and be like, yeah, let me just collect my money. No, that's not how we work, okay? We work by working our business. So we have to, and you have to, as a leader, in that leader mindset, the first week of every single month should be focused on you and your business, because here's a little life lesson thrown in too that I can kind of use as an analogy. Don't throw rocks at a glass house. Is that the right analogy? I don't know. But my point being is, or my other favorite saying, don't judge somebody because they sin differently than you, right? So at the same time, you have to kind of work that in and be like, okay, well, what are you talking about, Jacqui? Well, what I'm talking about is the fact of you can't tell somebody what they're supposed to be doing in their business if you're not doing any of it. You have to be able to work your business. You have to be able to get onto that workstation, hopefully every day, and if not, then at least 1 or 2 times a week, especially if you are building those teams. I want you to get more into the habit of at least opening it once a day, even if you only have 5 minutes. Open your workstation, okay? Check that news tab out. But you have to be able to lead from the front, and you have to have your business in order. Your house has to be in order before you can help somebody else clean their house. Does that make better sense? So we have to know, okay, where is our money coming from this month? Where is our PRV coming from? Do you have parties booked? Scentsy Club orders, right? Do you already know that those Scentsy Club orders are going to be hitting that month, right? If so, how much are they? When are they going to hit? So you'll know where you're at. Are you going to subscribe to Scent or Warmer of the Month? Remember, that adds to your PRV as well. You earn PRV on that, guys. Not only is it a great marketing tool, and it's awesome to be able to have it ahead of time for your parties and for your customers, but you also earn PRV on those. So again, take that into your equation, and then you need to really see, am I doing a fundraiser this month? Do I have an event scheduled this month? What is happening that is going to get me to that PRV goal? And once you have that in line, and once you've had some recruiting conversations, especially this month because it's super easy with the join promo, right? To be able to have those conversations and to be able to know where your PRV is coming from and how you're going to work to get there, that is more leading from the front, okay? I can tell you guys all day long, you guys should watch the training in the training center, right? You guys should go check out this video on YouTube. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. It totally inspired me. You guys should go to the business references tab or the news tab and read this article, right? I could tell you those things, but if you don't see me doing those things, then what does that say about me as a leader? It says that I'm probably just sitting back watching the world go by, right? No, I can tell you there's a leadership call on Mondays for directors and above. So every single Monday I'm on that call. Every single Tuesday, unless something has come up, I am always on the Scentsy all consultant training call. Carrie, you have your plans written in your hands. That's hilarious. I love you. That's why I love you. So I am constantly, yesterday, like I said, I've been having constant pain flares for the last 2 weeks. And so, I'm sorry, I'm a little congested today. The pollen count is like completely out of whack today. And every time I've taken him outside to go to the bathroom, like my allergies flare. So I apologize if I sound stuffy because I feel stuffy. Okay. But you will see me every single Tuesday watching those trainings. And I may know a good portion of what they're talking about, like today's training. I knew a good portion of it, right? I've done those trainings before. In fact, I've presented on that topic before at World Tour, right? So I know those topics, but that doesn't mean that I just go, oh, I already know that. I don't need to do that again. Heck no. Jacqui is still getting her training in. Like I said, I've been on pain flares and literally my husband almost literally had to go push me into the bedroom to go rest for an hour because I just kept walking around the house because I was just in so much pain. Every time I sat down, I couldn't take my mind off of it. And so I was just so upset and so emotional. I just kept pacing. And he was like, babe, you need to go lay down. I'm like, no, every time I lay down, all I think about is pain. He's like, no, go lay down, put your headphones in, meditate, watch a YouTube, do something. And I was like, all right, fine. So he finally pushes me into the bedroom and I go in. So what did I do? I pulled up a YouTube training from Chloe Cox and I watched that. Actually, I watched like 2 or 3 of them, but I watched those, right? Because yes, I'm a director, and yes, I love to lead, and yes, I do trainings, right? I do trainings myself, right? But that doesn't mean that I still don't continue every single week to pour into myself, because it doesn't mean that I know everything. Trust me, I will be the first to tell you, I don't know everything. I never will. And one quote that I will always remember is, you should never be the smartest person in the room. If you are the smartest person in the room, you need to look for a new room, because there is always somebody out there that you can learn from. You can learn from others. That's why we have these Facebook groups, okay? These Facebook groups are specifically for that, okay? For the simple fact of, you may have only been a consultant for 2 weeks. You may have been a consultant for 2 years. You may have been a consultant for 6 years. But you still get into the groups, right? Hopefully. You still get into those groups. And you're still sometimes asking questions. You're still answering questions, right? Because we have to be able to help each other. And if we are the smartest person in the room, then we are in the wrong room. We have to start looking for people who are going to inspire us and push us further along, because that's how we grow. Again, the whole growth mindset. Our brains are stupid. We have to tell them certain things, okay? And that's why, Carrie, your affirmation for the week is, I will be a lead consultant by the end of this month. That's it. That's the only statement I want to hear out of you for the rest of the month, okay? I will be a lead consultant by the end of September. Boom. That's it. Carrie's done. She's got her statement. But the whole point being is you have to continue to be able to pour into yourself, and you have to continue to accept the fact that you don't know it all. Just because you've been doing something and it's worked fantastic does not mean that that is the end all know all. So you have to take care of your business first. You cannot lead others until one, your business is in order, and two, you cannot lead others without, again, being a leading source, okay? You have to be able to sit back and absorb new knowledge. You just have to. You have to be able to do that. To be able to be a good leader, you have to be able to be taking in new knowledge, because I can tell you that in 2012, when I was a consultant, my business does not look the same as it does in 2019, right? Just because something worked for me then doesn't mean it works for me now. I am continuously hitting that reset button. At the end of every week, every Sunday, I think you guys kind of know my routine by now. I do my Sunday prep list, right? And literally I go back through the week. What worked, what didn't work. Did I have some really good engagement on Instagram? Did I have some great engagement on my VIP page or my Facebook fan page, or on Twitter, or on my YouTube, or whatever it was that I was working on that week? Where was the good engagement coming from? Where were the results coming from, right? Those orders, those parties that I did, what worked in that? And then flipping that coin around and go, okay, and it may even be a good example to where you're like, oh my gosh, I totally rocked that party. It was over a $500 party. That was fantastic. But I guarantee you there's still something that you can take away to go, yeah, that was a great party, but I think next time I can do A, B, and C, maybe a little bit better next time, right? So, golden nuggets. I'm all about the golden nuggets, yes. And Vicki, you're exactly right. You have to tweak it to you, right? Because what works for my business doesn't work for Vicki's, doesn't work for Carrie's. It doesn't work for everybody, right? This is not a one-size-fits-all business. This is you can choose to do it 1,000,001 ways business, okay? I've seen it worked from all different kinds of angles, and I've seen success from so many of those angles. We have to remember too, as a leader, it's very easy, and again, I'm very, oh my gosh, I might have taken an allergy pill. We can get very tied up in more of the activities that necessarily don't produce income. So if you hear me start telling you, I'm hopefully going to start working it more in, I need to start working it more into conversations, is the IPA. If you guys don't know, IPA, what IPA stands for is income producing activities. Income producing activities. It's not the beer, as much as my husband would like to think it is. IPA, your income producing activities, okay? I can sit here for 2 hours and make samples, but if I don't go pass them out, if I don't mail them out, if I don't give them out, if they don't leave my house, that did not make me income. That was just a big, fat 2-hour waste of time. That's exactly what that was, right? If I sit here and I make up very beautiful postcards on Canva and I send them to Walgreens and I print them out, but then I never mail them, big old waste of time, right? We cannot get tied up in the activities that are not producing income. So we have to be able to then go back and see what is producing that income. Oh, the pumpkin. Yes, the pumpkin. Yes. You know what? I'll have to find that, and I'll have to pull that into the group, because obviously we've got newer team members. I bet they haven't seen that one. So I'll pull that one up. That's a fun one. I still, last year I used the idea as well. I haven't gotten everything ready for October yet, but I might have to pull that pumpkin out for October. So those are great ideas. Again, if you're not leading from the front, it's a ripple effect. So as you lead from the front, and as you are sharing with your team members, and again, even if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 yet, but you will, right? You need to be showing them what you're doing in your business. Because, and it's very easy to do, I can attest to this, it's very easy to do when you see that you have people on your team who are totally killing it, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, they totally have this whole thing down. They are just killing it, right? But that doesn't mean that we have to stop giving them attention or stop thinking that they need our help, right? Because those are people that we still need to check in with. And so I myself, that is one of my main areas of focus, is I will be starting one-on-one coaching calls. Yes, I will. Yay! So I'm going to start putting that out there and getting that stuff out. I will hopefully, well, we'll see how this afternoon goes. I wanted to say today, but it's on my agenda actually for tomorrow in the book, to work on that tomorrow. So I think that if we lead from the front, and again, just sharing in the team pages, and if you have your own team page already, that's fantastic. And I want you to be consistent with that. If you have one, start being more consistent. If you need to write it in your planner, if you need to write it on a Post-it note like Carrie does, if you need to write it on your hand, write it on your hand every day. I need to post in my group, right? I need you to post in your group. And I need you to be giving people information that is going to be relevant. Sorry. I totally lost my train of thought. The mailman walked across outside. Squirrel. Okay, sorry. You need to be able to be giving people content that adds value. So yes, we look at that when we talk about marketing and on social media, things like that, right? Hopefully you do. And I'm going to be talking more about that topic as well, which it just kind of refreshed my memory from today that I needed to do a new topic on that. But we need to be able to giving value to our team members and our team pages especially. So those of you who have team pages, if you don't already, I encourage you to start one. Even if you only have one team member, I encourage you to start a team page. Why? Because you're going to act as if, because what if tomorrow you get 2 new people? 2 new people join your team tomorrow, and you're going to be doing the happy dance and running around, but I don't want you going, now what do I do? Now what do I do? Now what do I do? Oh crap, I don't have a team page yet. Put a team page together. Just start working with it. And even if, and I will tell you that when I very first started my original team page, way before I was a director, right? Way before, years before, I will tell you, I got very little engagement. Same thing with my fan page, right? Same thing with my VIP page. But it doesn't matter. You stay consistent and you continue to put things up that have value. And when it comes to your team page and when it comes to leading and leading from the front, right? Leading by example, that is when, even if it seems like a menial task to you, right? You're putting together a pouch party. You need to be taking a picture or doing a quick video or going live in your team page and saying, guys, look, I'm putting together a pouch party that I'm going to go drop off later today. This is what it looks like, right? Because again, even if you have team members who have been team members for years, who just joined 2 weeks ago, they are still going to learn by example from you, because you as a leader Again, you're leading from the front, right? You are showing everybody, you are setting the standard as a leader of these are the income producing activities I'm doing that help me work my business every single month consistently. And I do these things every single month consistently. Why? Because I want to get paid at title. Why? Because I'm working on that commission check, right? Why? Because I am invested in this business. Why? Because this is my full-time job. So I need to be making sure that just because I may have done it once or twice before, doesn't mean that I'm not going to do it again today. Why? Because just because I did it once or twice before doesn't mean everybody saw it once or twice before. Trust me, they don't see everything. You guys know the algorithm craziness that you run into anyway, right? The same thing happens in your team pages. So in your team pages, you really need to be focusing on showing them just how you're working. And guys, I think I actually dropped the ball last month. I honestly don't remember if I did it in August or if I did it at the very beginning. But I try and do every single month a work with me day, right? Where I come on and go live. And I think there's been a couple of times where it's like totally gone wrong and gone south. But I still try and put the effort out there, right? But the whole point in that work with me day is to truly just show everybody that not only one, am I leading from the front, right? Because I'm working my business just like you guys are working your business. But for two, it's inspiring people because just because there's 100 ways to do samples and maybe they've watched a video about it, maybe they want to see how you do your samples, right? Or maybe you've started doing your samples differently than you used to do, right? Anybody else in that boat? I totally am. I'm always constantly trying to change my mail outs and change postcards and do things like this, right? Because I want my customers to stay engaged. I want them to be engaged and seeing different things. If they see the same postcard month after month after month after month after month after month, yes, I'm consistent. But at the same time, what happens? They start to just phase out. Oh, it's that. Start changing things up. Even if it's working, just tweak it a little bit, right? Add something a little bit different. Maybe send an email one month, right? Maybe send a pretty text. Put together a fun little text graphic and text that to your customers this month, right? Give them a poll. Which warmer would you choose if here's a picture of my bookshelf, right? Which warmer would you put there? Would you put this one or this one? Because I need to decide. That is something, right, that you're going to get engagement from, and you're going to be able to hopefully spark some interest from your customers, but it's also just ways that you can engage. And remember, we are in the relationship building business. Even as leaders, we are in the relationship building business. We need to be building relationships with our leaders. So that is why Jacqui is committed to starting her one-on-one coaching calls. So again, be watching for those. Those of you who do have team members, 1 team member, 25 team members, 50 team members, whatever it looks like, you need to be authentic and you need to be putting the behaviors out there that you want your team members to duplicate. What are things that you want them to duplicate? You want them to be able to work their business every month, do a pouch party or a home party or an event or whatever it is that they is in their wheelhouse, right? You want them, okay? Golden nugget, yes. Score. You want them to be able to get that into their mind, right? So you want to recognize those behaviors that you want them to repeat because they need to be able to start to learn to be consistent in their business, right? And the only way they're going to learn how to be consistent is, for one, by seeing you being consistent, and by two, by seeing how consistent you are, and they're going to want to aspire to be a leader like you, right? They're just going to come into the fact of this is the culture of what it looks like to be a leader. That's what I'm going to be, right? There's your Mufasa moment, okay? Or, your Simba moment. Oh, Savannah. Okay, I could do the whole thing. Not gonna do it because Simba's in Madison's room. Okay, so anyway, so we want to do that. But another thing about leadership, and I'm totally starting to run over on time, so I'm going to try and wrap this up very quickly. I could go on and on. Leadership, you are here to serve your team. You're here to serve. And we talk about that a lot, or it gets brought up a lot with the whole arrows out, right? If you guys are not working arrows out, I want you to focus more on working arrows out. It's not what can you do for me, it's what can I do for you. Okay, arrows out. Our arrows need to be out at all times when it comes to customers, and especially when it comes to our team. And I've said this time and time and time again, and I've posted it time and time again, and I think I even have it in one of my welcome emails. I don't even know anymore because I've tweaked it a couple of times. But like the Team Scent 365 group that you're in right now, this team page, this is not my page. This is not my page. This is your page. This is a page for me to serve you and your needs and what can I help you with, and a place to come when you have a question, or to be able to connect with other people and to have those accountability partners and to say, hey, I'm working on this, I need some help, right? So the others can help to join into that culture and creating that culture and maintaining that culture of arrows out. We are here to help. That, again, you can duplicate into your team pages, right? I want you to keep those arrows out. How can you best serve your team? I'm realizing that the best way, another good way that I can serve my team is to start those one-on-one coaching calls. So again, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. You need to be sharing how you show up for your business. You just do. I think I didn't post it in here because I know I was going live in here. I posted it in the Scented Bliss group, you know, a picture of my computer, and I was like, hey, who's watching the training call today? You know how many training calls I've watched on Tuesdays? A lot over the years, right? Since 2012. I've watched a lot. Does that mean that I'm not doing it? Heck no, I'm still doing it. I still do it every single week unless something comes up, right? Or I'm not feeling well and I just can't, but I can still do it from my phone. Let's be real. But like if I'm out or whatever, something's happening and I can't be watching. Those are the scenarios when I don't. But every other time I am watching, right? I'm watching and I'm tied into my workstation, checking that news tab. What's happening? What's going on? What are the bigger things that I need to tell you guys, right? How can I best get the word out of what's happening, right? We had Jack Skellington, right? And all that happening, right? We have to be able to keep that knowledge going, and we have to be able to have a place to do that. So we have to be showing up. The things that are, and the last thing that I'm going to leave you with, hopefully it's a golden nugget. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, because it is literally the last thing on my notes for today. The last thing is, when you are succeeding in something, whether that be PRV, whether that be in booking parties, recruiting, whatever that is, I want you to start sharing how you're doing that. As a leader, again, arrows out, right? How can I show my team, how can I show others how to do this better? Because I found really great success doing it, so this is what I want to help others do. That was the whole reason that I started my YouTube channel. That was the whole reason. Because I had a really crappy sponsor, okay? And I have a really crappy star director that I never hear from, and I haven't heard from in like 6 years. So I have an upline that I didn't have. I don't have an upline, right? Except for Tracy DeMario. Thankfully, she is who she is, and she is an arrows out person, and she is the one there. Because if I didn't have that, then I don't know where I would be. But I had to realize I have to be arrows out. I have to be arrows out. So I have to be there to be sharing what is working for me, and at the same time as we celebrate our victories, we also have to talk about our failures. Real talk here, people. Failures. I've had tons of them. I actually have started, in fact, like I said, I've been in a pain flare for the past 2 weeks, really bad. And it's taken me a lot longer to get going in the morning and to get started because I'm in such pain. And so I started the other day and I did a short little clip, and I was just doing a little video clip because I want to eventually put everything together of those days when I'm struggling. Because guys, we always see the highlight reel, right? Especially when it comes to social media, right? All you see is the highlight reel. And yes, just like today, earlier when I did the housekeeping, right? We're shouting out those PRV and all that. What about the in-between times, right? We all have that. We all have that struggle. We all have that middle ground that we're just like, nothing is working. I'm trying to sponsor. Nobody's listening. I'm trying to get the PRV. Nothing's happening, right? We have to share those moments too, because those moments are real. And to be able to share those with your team specifically, because I'm not telling you to necessarily go out there and share it, with all your customers. Hey, I'm having a really crappy month this month. No, I'm not telling you to do that. But when it comes to leadership and your team, you need to be honest and open, right? It's not the highlight reel. Am I the highest PRV in our team every single month? No, I'm not. But do I strive to be? Yes. Do I have struggles? Do I have bad months? Oh, heck yes, I do. So we have to be able to be authentic and real and open ourselves up to be able to say, you can be a great leader. You don't have to be great at everything. You just have to lead from the front. You have to lead by example. You have to be arrows out. And you have to be willing to continue to pour into your own cup. Continue to learn. Continue to move past the bad sponsor that might be out there, right? I'm living proof to say that you can make it without that. I don't even care if that person hears me say it, right? Because it's true. It's true. I don't have contact with them anymore. They blocked me. But the point of the fact is that you can do this. You can succeed. And all you have to do is believe in yourself. And lucky enough for you, you've got the biggest cheerleader right here. Because I know those moments, and I know how it feels to be in those moments. And I'm sure I'll continue to have moments like that as I continue to move. I'm not stopping at director. You guys know that, right? My goal is superstar director. I've got 2 more steps, right? I've got star director and superstar director I've got to get to before I'm even remotely satisfied. And even when I get to star director, do you think that means I'm going to sit back and not do my business? No. Because I'm going to be working it even harder. I'm going to be learning new things about leading from the front and about how to do coaching calls and getting those into the mix, right? I'm going to be doing that. Why? Because that's my passion. And I am here to serve my team. Arrows out. All the way, arrows out. I hope I didn't take you to church too much. Okay, I didn't want to come off that way. Anyway, so here we go. I love you all. Thank you for joining. At the earlier time, like I said, if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay, let us know if you've got questions over anything that we talked about. Like I said, I will be pushing out some info on one-on-one coaching calls. Those are some of the things that I'm working on. And I'm actually going to be posting this week on other things. I'm gonna give you a glimpse into the world of Jacqui, and I'm gonna show you what I'm working on this week. So that will be coming in the group because I'm gonna practice what I preach, right? I'm going to lead from the front. Yes, I am. And that's exactly what I want you guys to do as well. So as we have these new team members coming on, make sure they know where their resources are. Make sure you are leading from the front. Make sure you are sharing with them what works, what doesn't work. Oh, you want to try that? That's awesome. Do it. Here's some ideas, or here's a great video to go watch, right? Give them some tools to figure out what's going to be their magic spot to be able to get that done, right? Because again, there's 101 different ways on how to work this business. It might work different for them than it does for you, and you need to be able to just support them and be able to give them the resources to what they need and how to best serve them as people. All right, that's it. I'm off my soapbox. All right, I'm going to get myself ready to go to my doctor's appointment. I will be on later on this afternoon, and of course the rest of the week. So, okay, all right. So I'll talk to you then. Love you. Bye.